All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our deal or no deal story time. We could be working on a property that's worth $5 million, $6 million. Really, everything comes down to one minor detail, a small detail. Today's episode is about one such little detail, a cooktop. So the buyer of the story liked the property, and the property was undergoing some renovation. The seller was replacing the gas range with an electric cooktop. And the buyer is a big cook. So what kind of range that goes in was important to him. So he asked to see the specs, which the seller's agent shared, and he said, "Oh, that's great. We're okay with it." So he signed the contract, and 2 months later, seller came out and say, "Oh, my contractor made a mistake. The marble cooktop, the opening in the marble countertop is not big enough to put in the cooktop I told you about. So we're gonna put in a smaller one, so a lower powered cooktop, so it fits." And the buyer's not okay with it, right? So let me tell you, all the time we spent talking about every other aspect of the deal, negotiating the price, the terms, and the timeline, contract, everything combined was not as much as the time we spent talking about the cooktop. We discussed, proposed all kinds of solutions under the sun, it felt like. And eventually, it took weeks, almost a month. And then the seller had to just put in the random cooktop so he can close the permit, and the buyer can move on with the mortgage, because the bank needs to close the permit to release the mortgage. But the buyer did get compensation, the full price of the original cooktop, and some credit to install it after closing. So the moral of the story is you really have to put everything in writing into the contract. So in this case, we didn't think about it, right? This was something the seller needed to do with or without this buyer, with or without the contract, that he needed to close the permit. And this was the cooktop that he always planned on putting in. And to be honest, to be frank, he didn't intentionally want to go back on his promise, but he did, because somebody else made a mistake and he didn't want to take that responsibility, right? So things happen, put everything into contract. See you next time.